Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with more of our F1 2021 fantasy reviews. Yes, this weekend we're here to discuss the Turkish Grand Prix, of course. If you want sort of my whole thoughts and feelings, of course, from the Grand Prix, I know I say it at the start of every one of these videos, but obviously make sure you do get yourself subscribed. Come back tomorrow. Obviously, Jamie and I will be returning with the podcast as well. There's quite a bit to go over from the Turkish Grand Prix. Of course, we've had another couple of absolutely brilliant and very, very talked about races in recent weeks. Obviously, Monza was an absolute banger. Russia, even I should say, was again had a lot to discuss and dissect from that Grand Prix. So Turkey, you know, I think some people were sort of expecting the same dramatics that we got from last year, but in the end, it was, don't get me wrong, not a bad race, but I think just based on the ridiculous standards we've had for most of the 2021 season so far, it was worrying that Turkey was actually quite a boring race. Based on this year's standards there. But, of course, we're back once more to discuss our fantasy team. You can see, having a look, though, at all three of our rosters before we sort of really dive into it. Our Team 3 did almost as well as our main team there. You know, sort of our lottery team, the team that can somehow pull something out of the bag every once in a while. This weekend, yeah, almost did pull something out of the bag. Obviously carried along by Bottas and Perez, of course, both picking up their podiums there to gain us 144 points, which is actually a really good going. Might be our best result of the year so far for our Team 3 as well. There, unfortunately, Seb didn't quite have the weekend to remember the interesting call from Aston Martin, shall we say there. Yeah, didn't quite pay off there. I think it was a bit too early to go onto the mediums for Sebastian Vettel there. Gasly, though, had another really good weekend, you know. Probably should have turboed Sergio Perez, but Gasly still did really well nonetheless there. Latifi scored me nothing, to be honest. Williams just this weekend were really nowhere. And then, of course, yeah, Ferrari did pretty well. Sainz had a really good fight back through the field. Charles Leclerc was pretty consistent all day. Could have possibly finished second, but I think, again, we'll discuss it more in the podcast, but I think Charles Leclerc probably made the right call to pit when he did. Our meme team... Giovinazzi managed to absolutely carry that this weekend. They almost scored points, actually, for Alfa Romeo, but apparently there was a bit of controversy down at Sauber Alfa Romeo there. Apparently Raikkonen was closing up rather rapidly on Gio. Gio wouldn't let him through, and Kimi could have probably got Ocon as well there. So, again, another sort of fumble from Alfa Romeo as well. They see Mazepin as our turbo. Did Mazepin things, 0 points there. Mick Schumacher got 3. Tsunoda got -5, which... Again, yeah, I think pretty much the only sort of thing a lot of people can remember from Tsunoda was him defending from Hamilton for a while, but yeah, after that, sort of fell off there. Latifi again with 0, and Haas, of course, with -2, despite neither of their drivers scoring negative points, so GG's there. To Haas, of course, I'm guessing it was just Schumacher having a really good qualifying and then going backwards as the race went on. But moving on, though, into the big team, though, Verstappen, 35 points there. I thought, obviously, especially after Hamilton's penalties, it would just be a walkover for Verstappen. But Bottas did well this weekend. We get it a couple of times a year. Bottas, yeah, actually managed to pull his finger out and do something worthwhile this weekend there. Lando Norris, again, as our turbo, 36 points, sorry, I should say. I did wonder whether Sainz would have been better to turbo, but apparently not. Sainz only scored a 17 despite being driver of the day there. Perez would have actually been the man to turbo this weekend as well there on 29 points. And like we said, Giovinazzi, who we put in the team as a bit of a gamble, actually did rather well there, as well as McLaren, of course. So yeah, we didn't have anyone that did badly, but we didn't really have anyone that did really well either this week. So it was a rather weird one as well there. It does, however, mean, though, if we have a look, head over to the standings, we're currently still sat 150th in our league at the moment. Like I said, at the start of the year, I was aiming for top 100, but I think, yeah, top 150 is probably a fair goal to achieve by the end of the year. There are 422 members as well, so we're slowly bringing a few more people in, even though the season is really starting to get into the late game. Now, I'm hoping next year we can try and get 500 of you involved in the league as well there. But yeah, currently sat about top 16% pretty much there in the Mercedes League. Top sort of 20%, top 20, 25% in the UK League there, and actually, yeah, top 20% as well. So we're actually doing really well in the Merc League in comparison to anything else there, and yeah, top third in our split. So we've actually got a really strong league overall there as well. Turkish Grand Prix, though, our top scorer was Adam on 246 points. There are only 2 of you, by the looks of it, using your Mega Driver, unless a lot of people gambled on Verstappen further down the order. It doesn't look like really anyone did this weekend there. So that's rather interesting to see that no one really opted for their mega drivers there. Hence why Adam, he turboed Verstappen. I was expecting a turbo Bottas to come in clutch somewhere there, but he did also, mega drive Verstappen, turboed Perez for a big haul of points there. Red Bull as well also did really well there with Leclerc, Tsunoda and Mick Schumacher. So not a perfect week. It goes to show, yeah, this week was a bit of a weird one for my team there. Tinete in P2 there. Mega driver Hamilton, who actually recovered to some decent points as well there. Kimi, Russell again had pretty quiet weekends. Norris as well, and Gasly of course did pretty well in the AlphaTauri there. Red Bull coming in clutch for him as well, so 240 points there. It was actually Daniel who did best of the non-turbo drivers there, 13 clear of anything else. So are we going to see a Bottas in there, I wonder? I'm amazed you can turbo Perez but not Bottas still at this stage of the game. Apparently I'm not going to be able to find anything on Daniel's team there, so not too sure what that's all about. Apparently we're losing all the teams. You love to see it. Right, well, no idea what that was all about. F1 Fantasy decided it didn't want to work anymore, which is always fun. But yeah, let's have a look then at Papa John's team there by Daniel P. He has got Bottas, he has got Turbo Perez as well there. Norris, Schumacher, Giovinazzi, Mercedes picked up 72 points from the weekend as well. So that is a mega job done by him there. You can see we have got a Bottas right up towards the front of the order there, and 13 clear of anyone else. That is really going to help him out later on in the year there. Verstappen and Bottas as well, and then you got McLaren with Turbo Norris, Red Bull as well, the Gasly and Russell, so another big hit by Cancron as well. Daniel again getting another team into the top 5 there. Bottas, Norris, Gasly, Ocon, Gio and Mercedes once more there. So a lot of faith in Bottas coming from you. I'm intrigued to see how that's gone over the course of the year there. Tina in P6, the last person to hit over 200 points as well. Norris, Turbo, Perez, Red Bull, Gasly, Norris. Turbo, Perez, Red Bull, Norris, Bottas, Gasly. I've lost track of where I was there on that one. You can see we've got Felix, NG, Karan, Alex W, all three of Alex W's team there inside the top 7. A big tie for top 7 there as well. Justin, Aman and Pantelis as well inside the top 10. So that is very well done to you all. Where did we finish this week? I'm sure a lot of people did better than us with our 155. Was it 155 we scored, or was it less than that? Oh, there we go. We were 191st this week, which isn't great, but we were top half once more there, and I think my other teams are going to be right down the order. Yeah, 419th and 291st there, so only 15 points separated our two teams, and like 100 places. That's kind of incredible as well. But it does mean overall, though, in the league at this stage of the game, of 421st still, with the second team there, 414th obviously as well, because that team hasn't really had much chance to fight throughout the course of the year. We'll have a look. Obviously, our top team, 150th. They're 9 deep, though, still 33 clear with just 6 races to go of the year as well. So his team is still looking rather strong at the moment there. Only scored 178 this week, but did turbo Leclerc, who clearly was the man to pick there as well. Verstappen, Perez, Norris, McLaren and Gasly as well. They're still ahead of Cancun in P2. They're just 3.5 points now between him and Noah S. There is Ariman still sat in P4. Daniel as well in P5 after that really good week for him. Damjan down into P6 ahead of Barack, Leonardo and Jake rounding out your top 10 as well there. So still only 105 points separate our top 10 at this stage of the year there. It is mega close between a huge host of people there. Like we said, we're still sat in 150th. You can see they're just half a point ahead of Paco there, and just half a point behind Matthew as well there, as well as Lucy and Kyle T just in front of us as well. So we're doing all right still at this stage of the game. Is top 150 going to be possible by the end of the year as well? That is what we're going to have to wait and see. In terms, though, of our roster, do we want to change anything up as we head to Kota? It's always been a good track for Lewis Hamilton, so I'm tempted to see if we can change it up somewhat there, as F1 Fantasy again deciding it doesn't want to play ball. There we go. Can we put Hamilton into this team? I'm thinking McLaren said Turkey had too many sort of long corners. I think it's going to be a Ferrari track, to be honest, again. So I'm going to bring out Norris. I'm going to try... How much is Leclerc worth at this stage of the year? He's worth 17.7 million. I'm going to try and get rid of Verstappen as well there and put Do I put Hamilton back in? I think Hamilton's got to go back in this weekend. Their Sainz, I would love to keep, but I just don't think... Actually, no, Perez I don't think is worth having this weekend as well. So we've got 8.9 million for someone else. Sonoda did well last weekend. I'm trying to think, trying to compare Coach to other tracks like it earlier on this year there. I'm thinking whether putting someone like Latifi back in's worth it. Do I take Sainz out? Do I put Ferrari in? Oh, it's very, very difficult, isn't it? Who do we go with teams-wise? Aston Martin is still 16.4 mil. I hadn't spotted that at this stage. Ferrari and McLaren are worth exactly the same there, so I don't want to put... I'm not going to put all my money in the... I'm really just changing up everything this week, aren't I? We're going for a complete reset of the roster there. I'm trying to think, would it be worth gambling? Like, who else was strong? I'm going to put Gasly in there. Gasly's just rapid all year long. Constructors-wise, I'm going to gamble with Ferrari this weekend. It's a big gamble. I'm not going to try and deny that, but we're going to roll with that. And then we've got just under 10 million for our last two drivers. So we could spend a lot of money on one of them and then really cheap out on the other. Or we sort of try and play it a bit safer. If I go with I can't afford anyone, I'm going to put Norris in, even though I've just tried to take him out. No, I still can't afford anyone, so Norris is coming straight back out. Do I want to put Lance Stroll in a team? Am I kind of giving up if I put Stroll in? I feel like I am. We're going to go Ocon and I'm going to say Raikkonen. He's always gone well at Kota as well there. So we've completely changed up the roster. I'm going to actually lose a lot of points if I do that, so I'm going to have to put my Mega Drive, my wild card in. So we're going to do that. We're taking a gamble. We're taking a big old gamble. Turbo as well. I'm going to go with Charles Leclerc. I feel like Ferrari are on for a good weekend here, but maybe I'm risking too much because McLaren will be really good later on in the year, but I reckon we can swap out Ferrari for McLaren, ready for Mexico as well, obviously, because that'll be much a power track as well there. But there we go. We've changed it up. Let me know how well you guys got on as well from the Turkish Grand Prix. Let me know how stupid I am for completely changing up my roster as well at this stage of the game. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed. And yeah, we'll be back very, very soon with more F1 2021 content. A massive thank you for the continued support from all our channel members. If you want to be featured in these end clips, make sure you click the join button down below. But yeah, once again, a massive thank you to The Travesty, Patrick, Chuan, David, Ben, Aiden, F. Stathios, Kato, Sean, Johnny, McBlam, and Mighty Spork for becoming channel members. The support is really, really appreciated.